In a sport built on speed, glory, and danger, the line between triumph and tragedy has always been razor thin. NASCAR's history isn't just about champions, trophies, and roaring engines. It's also a story written in loss, moments that stopped time, silenced crowds, and changed the sport forever. Today we revisit the darkest chapters in NASCAR's past, the stories of courage, heartbreak, and the safety revolutions born from tragedy. This is Motorsport Minds, where we bring you the machines, the legends, and the moments that changed motorsport forever.
I can't see.
1. Bobby Myers, the Darlington Disaster, 1957, September 1957. The Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway, NASCAR's toughest and most prestigious event of its era. When the green flag dropped, Bobby Myers, driving for the legendary Petty Enterprises, was chasing a dream, a career-defining victory. Lap 27 changed everything. Fonnie Flock spun on the backstretch, his car coming to rest across the track. Before anyone could react, Myers and Paul Goldsmith slammed into Flock's stopped car at full speed. The impact was brutal. Myers' Oldsmobile flipped violently, rolling side over side as the crowd fell silent. When the wreckage finally stopped, hope quickly faded. Bobby Myers, part of NASCAR's first racing family, was gone. His death was one of the first major wake-up calls for stock car racing, proof that the sport's growing speeds came with unimaginable risks, and it was only the beginning. 2. Fireball Roberts, a name turned tragic, 1964. Glenn Fireball Roberts earned his nickname not from racing, but from his baseball days for his blazing fastball. Ironically, that same nickname would become a haunting symbol of his final race. During the 1964 World 600 at Charlotte, Roberts tried to avoid a crash between Ned Jarrett and Junior Johnson. His car slammed backward into the wall, flipped over, and burst into flames. Witnesses say Roberts screamed for help as his car burned uncontrollably. Ned Jarrett risked his own life to pull him from the inferno, but the fire had already done irreversible damage. Roberts suffered third-degree burns over 80% of his body. He fought for weeks, but pneumonia and infection took his life on July 2, 1964. He was just 35. The tragedy shocked NASCAR into action, prompting the use of flame-retardant suits and fuel cell technology, forever changing how drivers protected themselves. 3. Curtis Turner, the Showman's Final Flight, 1970. Curtis Turner was NASCAR's original outlaw, a moonshine runner, a rebel, a showman. He built Charlotte Motor Speedway, partied harder than anyone, and drove like he had nothing to lose. But in 1970, Turner's wild ride came to a tragic end. While piloting his private plane in Pennsylvania with golfer Clarence King, the aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff. Both men were killed instantly. Turner had survived NASCAR's most dangerous era, only to perish in the skies on his way to yet another race. He left behind a legacy of passion, rebellion, and a reminder that danger followed racers everywhere, even beyond the track. 4. Adam Petty and Kenny Irwin Jr. The year that broke NASCAR, 2000. By the year 2000, NASCAR had entered a new age. Bigger crowds, faster cars, and a new generation of heroes. Among them was 19-year-old Adam Petty, the fourth generation of NASCAR's royal family. During practice at New Hampshire, Adam's throttle stuck wide open. His car hit the wall head-on, instantly fatal. A future champion, gone before his first full season. 8 weeks later, tragedy struck again. Same track, same turn, same cause. Kenny Irwin Jr., a rising star and former Rookie of the Year, crashed during practice when his throttle jammed. He too died instantly from the same type of basilar skull fracture. The similarities were too much to ignore. NASCAR introduced mandatory kill switches and other safety checks, but still hesitated to enforce head and neck restraints, a delay that would soon prove catastrophic. Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, one of the greatest to ever hold a steering wheel, was blocking for his son and teammate on the final lap. As the pack thundered into turn 4, Earnhardt's car made contact with Sterling Marlin, slid up the track, and hit the wall head-on at 160 miles per hour. To the casual eye, it didn't look fatal, but inside the black number, 3 Chevrolet, the unthinkable had happened. When Ken Schrader reached the wreck and waved frantically for help, everyone watching felt it. Something was terribly wrong. Minutes later, the announcement came. We've lost Dale Earnhardt.
After the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
The 7-time champion's death was the moment that changed NASCAR forever. Within months, the HANS device became mandatory. Safer barriers were installed. Seat and belt regulations were rewritten. Earnhardt's loss transformed safety from an afterthought into a priority, saving countless lives in the years that followed. 6. Tony Stewart and Kevin Ward Jr. A Tragedy in the Dirt, 2014. Not every tragedy happens on NASCAR's biggest stage. On August 9, 2014, Tony Stewart, a 3-time Cup champion, was racing in a small sprint car event in New York. After contact sent young driver Kevin Ward Jr. into the wall, Ward climbed out of his car under caution and walked towards Stewart's moving car, furious, emotional, and unaware of the danger. Moments later, Stewart's right rear tire struck Ward. The 20-year-old was thrown several meters and killed instantly. Though ruled an accident, the incident shook the racing world. NASCAR soon introduced the Kevin Ward rule, forbidding drivers from walking onto the track after accidents. A rule written in heartbreak, but one that continues to save lives today. 7. Davey Allison, the hero who never got to finish his race, 1993. By the early 1990s, Davey Allison was everything NASCAR needed. Young, fearless, and already a superstar. The son of Hall of Famer Bobby Allison, Davey carried not just a legendary name, but the hopes of a new generation. After near misses in championship battles and unforgettable duels at Daytona and Talladega, fans believed he was destined to become one of the all-time greats, but fate had other plans. On July 12, 1993, Davey piloted his Hughes 369 helicopter to Talladega Superspeedway to watch friend Neil Bonnet test a car. It was supposed to be a short flight, routine even, but as the chopper descended to land in the infield, something went horribly wrong. The helicopter tilted violently, clipped the ground, and rolled over. Neil's son, David Bonnet, watched helplessly as emergency crews rushed in. Davey was pulled from the wreckage and airlifted to Birmingham, critically injured. He never regained consciousness. The next day, the racing world lost one of its brightest lights. He was just 32 years old. Davey Allison's death hit NASCAR like a thunderclap. He wasn't just another driver. He was family to the sport, the kind of person who could walk into any garage and be met with smiles. His passing, coming barely a year after the death of friend and rival Alan Kulwicki in a plane crash, sent a chilling message to the NASCAR community. The skies had claimed 2 champions in just 16 months, and the sport realized that danger wasn't only on the racetrack. After his death, NASCAR increased aviation safety protocols for team and driver travel, and Talladega erected a memorial to honor the fallen star. From Bobby Myers to Dale Earnhardt, from Adam Petty to Kevin Ward, every tragedy left a scar, but also a lesson. NASCAR's evolution in safety is written in the names of those we lost. A painful legacy that continues to protect the heroes of today. Because behind every victory, behind every trophy, is a sport that learned, the hardest way possible, that speed demands respect.